Welcome to the finale of Season 5 of The Lord of the Rings Online. We are done questing and deeding in the North Downs, and we're ready to move on to Season 6 and one of my favorite maps in the game. Behind me you see a bridge connecting the Lowlands to the wet, green, lush lands of the Trollshaws, which is where I am going to next. So, like every other finale in this playthrough so far, I'm going to go over multiple things. Number one, I'm going to give myself a new title to head into the next season with. Then I'm going to go over my gear, my class points, my virtues. Then I'm going to show you all the deeds here in the North Downs. And then I'm going to talk about the reputation in the North Downs. And finally, I'm going to get a new pony for the next season. So let's begin here with my new title. And you will notice my new portrait for 9 years of playing the game. And my new title is Kippen Proudfeet, Honorary Ranger, after helping all of the Rangers of Estelden. Now, as far as my gear, I'm a little bit lazy with the crafting, so I'm just going to keep what I have for now. It's pretty outdated. These are level 38. Alright, that's not too bad. Well, I guess the minimum level to wear is 35, so I'm a few levels behind. I don't feel like crafting anything right now, so we're going to go into the next season with the same things we have on currently. So I know, that's not too exciting, but sometimes I'm just lazy. Next up, let me go over my points here. Basically, I'm still stacking in the red line, trying to stack my bleeds, my light damage, all that good stuff. Let's take a look at this right here. That's going to stay the same for now. And then my virtues, they're also going to stay the same. Again, I'm trying to stack resistance as much as I can. So that's what we're going to do with that. And next up, let's talk about some of the deeds here in the North Downs. And again, we're not actually in North Downs because the way to get to the Trollshaws is through the Lowlands. But anyways, let's go here to the North Downs and we have all the deeds. Got all the Explorer deeds, all of the Slayer deeds, everything we need. All the quest deeds. So, let's start talking about some of those deeds right now. The first exploration deed is Strongholds Exploration, in which we need to spy out the Orc and Goblin strongholds in the North Downs. The first point is the Nan Wethrin Western Pass. Once this pass served as the Grand Gate of Nan Wethrin, a strong fortress that stood guard over the city of Fornost. It has long lay in ruin. Next is the Nan Wethrin Eastern Pass. Once the Eastern Pass served as the postern gate to the fortress of Nan Wethrin. These days, it has become a supply road for the goblins that now inhabit the ruins of this once proud citadel. Next is Higorpor. Long ago, this place served as the keep of proud Nan Wethrin. It fell into ruins after the city of Fornost was destroyed by the Witch King of Angmar, and has lain abandoned for many long years. Now the goblins have come here through dark secret tunnels and made this crumbling fortress their own. Next is Hisuk. The war camp of Hisuk provides a commanding view over the blasted waste of Dol Dinen. Here the Orcish army gathers its might and prepares for further conquest of the North Downs. The last stronghold is Tumont. Tumont lies hidden deep within the mountains of Dol Dinen. It is here that the Orcish commanders confer with their Dark Lords and receive the orders that will set them to march against the free peoples of Eriador. The next exploration deed is the Eastern Ruins. Many ruins lie forgotten in the lands east of the Barad-dûn. Explore them and determine if they have fallen into the hands of the enemy. The first site is Os-Lagaros. Os-Lagaros was a watchtower which once held vigil over the eastern passage to the great city of Fornost-Dirain. Next is Ost-Galomar. Ost-Galomar once stood as a forward outpost of the Kingdom of Arthedain, a steadfast guardian against the shadow from the north. Next is Dol Nendir. Dol Nendir was a small Arthedain fortress on the northeastern edges of Meluinen, before it was razed by the armies of Angmar long ago. Next is Marinost. Marinost was once a small wall town of the north realm of Arnor, long before the marshes of Meluinen swallowed the land. Finally, we have Oskrithlank. Oskrithlank had been one of the most forward outposts of the Kingdom of Arthedain. Now it lies in ruins, home to evil men out of Angmar. The next exploration deed is the villages of the Earthkin. An odd people calling themselves the Earthkin have been discovered in the eastern North Downs. Seek out their villages and learn more about them, and whether they can be friend or foe. The first site is Rustfold. It seems that the Earthkin hunters of Rustfold are friendly enough, if rather odd. They speak of others of their kind to the east, however, who have fallen under the sway of Angmar. Next up is Fashot Log. It seems that this village and others have fallen under the sway of Angmar. The Earthkin are fighting amongst themselves, to the amusement of the lords of Angmar, no doubt. Next is Karlok. Karlok is a camp of the Earthkin that has fallen under the yoke of Angmar. If they would listen to reason, perhaps they could be freed, but they do not seem to be in a mood to talk. Finally, there is Lemakoti. Hidden deep within the Ram Duith, you have discovered this camp of the Earthkin. Trapped from their home in the south of Angmar by the forces of the Angmarim, their lot does not seem too happy, as they have been turned against one another by the lies of Angmar. The final exploration deed in the North Downs is the Western Ruins. Explore the ruins scattered in and around the fields of Fornost. The first site is Amon Wraith, a tower once set atop Amon Wraith, guarding the pass through the hills south of Fornost. Now it is home to rangers and refugees. Next up is Minas Vrun. The city of Minas Vrun once lay to the south of Fornost, on the eastern side of the pass at Amon Wraith. The lord of the city fell beneath the blade of a Marthiel champion of Angmar. Next is Os-Nuaran. Os-Nuaran was an outlying bulwark of the great city of Fornost. The betrayal of the fortress commander caused its downfall and allowed Angmar to pass into the city. Next is the Falconer's Tower. The Falconer's Tower was a watchtower from which guardsmen could see for miles across North Downs. It was named so because the guardsmen used falcons to espy the land and deliver messages to the king at Fornost Erain. Next is the Norbury Gates. This was once the main entrance into the king city of Fornost Erain. The gates were laid to ruin and rebuilt by the Witch King of Angmar when he seized the city for himself. Next is Gilrost. Gilrost was a watchtower which once held vigil over the Evendim Gate, the passage leading to Annúminas, the ancient capital of Arnor, now an abode of fell spirits out of Angmar. Finally, there is Tham Lorn. Tham Lorn was the second of two fortresses set to guard the Evendim Gate, the passage to Annúminas, the ancient capital of Arnor. Fell spirits now haunt its ruined halls. Next up, we have the Slayer deeds here in the North Downs, beginning with Goblin-slayer. There are plenty of places to kill these guys, including Fornost itself. That's probably the best place. If you can find a group and do Fornost, that's great. Otherwise, here in Dodinen is another good spot. Next, there is Orc-slayer. And again, if you can get a group to go to Fornost, you can get tons of Orc-slayers. Otherwise, there is Nanwethrin. The Orcs are a little bit lower level there. But here in Dodinen is also a great spot. And you can make quite a bit of money killing these guys here, even though they have a bit more HP. This one might take you a while, depending on which location you decide on. Next up, there is the Redeemer deed, and this one is for killing spirits. There's a ton of them here in the fields of Fornost. However, again, I recommend getting a group and doing the Fornost instance. You'll get plenty of spirits there, and that's really the best way to do this deed. Next, there is the Troll-slayer, and they're here in these woods, and there's a ton of them. You shouldn't have too many problems with these guys. They look tough, they look big and mean, but they're actually not so bad. This is one of the easier deeds here in the North Downs. Next is the Warg-slayer, and again, if you can go to Fornost, the fourth part of that instance has a ton of wargs. Otherwise, Dodinen has a ton of them, but there is this spot here with a lot of low-level wargs. This is definitely the spot I recommend for this deed. Finally, the last Slayer deed is the Worm-slayer, and undoubtedly the best spot to do this is in the Ram Duith near Angmar. Ton of worms here. This deed goes by pretty quick. Okay, next up, let's talk about the Reputation faction here in Estelden. So, the only reputation that we have here is the Rangers of Estelden. The hidden sanctuary of Estelden stands as the gathering place of the strength of men in the north, the only power other than Rivendell itself that might offer pause to the growing power of Angmar. Once a secretive organization, the Rangers are beginning to seek the aid of any stalwart who would raise a blade against the darkness as the North prepares for war. So the way to get reputation with them, pretty much like anything else, is you can do quests in the North Downs, you can do deeds there, you can get some reputation items which you can trade in, all the good stuff. But once you are kindred with them, you unlock several things. So let's take a look at those now. So once you are kindred with the men of Estelden, you can unlock several rewards. There are many men here in Estelden which give you things to barter for. One of them is Malenfang, and he contains the exciting stuff. So there's some pretty nice weapons here, some decorations for your house that you can get. But notably, there's the prized Estelden steed, which I am going to buy right now. So there we go. Got the sexy steed here. There's going to be another guy associated with the reputation. This is Tokien.
What can I do for you?
And oh my gosh, look at this lag right now. Basically what this does is that if you are not kindred just yet, you can get a few recipes, and if you make these recipes, you gain reputation. So that's another way to build up your reputation. There's going to be another guy in here inside the craft hall, which is a reputation barterer. So this is Bordreg.
What do you need?
And he gives you a nice stone tower for your house if you want that. So that's that for now. So that's gonna do it, guys. It is the end of the season, and like every other finale, we're gonna set off some fireworks to celebrate. Let's do this. Oh, that thing shot far. And I can't get a good view because all the grass here, that was very anticlimactic. There's a little firework cannon. Anyways, let me get on my prized Estelden pony so you guys can check it out. Look at that. That is a cool looking pony. And I hope you guys enjoyed the season. I am so excited for the next one. I hope to see you there across this bridge. As a reminder, be sure to check out my completionist checklist at renaissancegaming.net/lotro.html. There you can see a spreadsheet of all the quests and deeds for all the regions that I have already done. And you will notice that there are 2 deeds missing from the North Downs, the roving threats and the one to find the hidden treasure chests. I can't do those until I'm like level 100, so I'll have to come back to those. I hope you guys enjoyed the season, and I'll see you next time.